Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to our class. This lecture is precisely based on how to write a paper, a research paper. Now, are you planning to write a paper?
Yes,
Yes, sir. So, what is the first one? Now, if you are planning to write a paper, what is the first step? Identifying an issue or a problem or a topic. That is the primary things. And how to identify an issue or a problem? From the literature. If there is no literature available, not much literature, suppose we want to work on some current issue which is taking place in India or Northeast or Mizoram. We have to work on that. Something, immediately something happened. The current relevance. See, for example, the journalists also, they want to report something. They have to write. Sometimes when we work on something, some topic, we may not be getting enough literature, but still we want to write something on that. Okay, that is the first thing. Say, are you planning to write a paper now? And the planning to write a paper or how to structure a paper or an article, this is not an one-time kind of event, but an ongoing kind of process. It's not that we decide one day write an article and next day we will bring an article and next day we have to publish that article. It is an ongoing kind of process. It will take a lot of time and it involves a lot of energy also and a lot of passions also, isn't it? So it is an ongoing kind of process and it is not complete until the final draft is ready for publication, isn't it? So many effort involved, so many times we have to revise the draft, and the planning to write a paper includes, as I told, the topic selection. Now the issues or the topic or the which area we want to work on. Then followed by that, the actual research is taking place, isn't it? We decide a topic or we find a topic or select a topic, then we conduct our research, then we we organize our the thoughts and ideas, then we structure it, isn't it? So these are the three phases I discussing it. Then see the basic structure. See, there are many writings also. Academic, like when we talk about academic writing, there are maybe there are non-academic writing. For example, suppose journalist write an article. Or you can see the edit page. The articles are coming up. These are it's not academic kind of writing. Academic kind of writing means have that kind of citation, proper footnote, all these kind of things. Sources you have to mention. Otherwise, you can write an article. There are academic writing, journalistic writing. That's why sometimes people say that we are researchers. We have to write academic and with all these kind of sources, footnote, references, all these things. Otherwise, it will be like a newspaper article, isn't it? Without any source, you can say, or somebody said it, all these things. There is no footnote and other things also. So, see, the basic structure of an academic writing. It starts with an introduction, including the thesis of the statement. Thesis is not the PhD thesis. It's a statement we have to identify it. And now there should be when you write an article, first we will start with an introduction. Introduction is very important, and where you have to mention what you are going to study, what you are going to find out in this article. So brief kind of introductions about, and introductions are the hooks No, hook, you know that when we catch fish, no, there's a hook, no, we give it to the, no, then this hook will go into the fish, no, mouth, and so this is the way to we can take. So introduction is a hook to the hook of the authors to capture the attention of the reader, isn't it? So this is an easy way to take the attention of the readers. So this is just like a hook. So those who are reading the introduction, they know that what is inside in the in the article also. Then so introductions are the hooks authors create to capture the attention of their readers, and through introductions authors must not only identify the content of their paper but also engage the readers, isn't it? Otherwise what happens is that once you read the introduction, you feel that okay, I am no longer reading the whole article, because introductions engage the readers, or it compels the reader to read the entire article. That is, sometimes we read some books or some comics or some kind of stories. Now after reading 2-3 pages we say no, this is not good, because the introduction is not giving any kind of interest or generating any kind of interest among the readers. So the introduction is very important, and through introduction authors must not only identify the content of their papers but also engage the readers sufficiently so that they can continue reading. Otherwise the readers they won't read the whole article or the whole content. So the introduction, good introduction even attracts the teacher attract the readers to read the entire thing. In do so, authors should avoid weak introductions and illustrations. See, sometimes we write an introduction, we only write certain kind of illustrations, not introduction which is reflecting the whole content of the article, isn't it? Just we write something, then now we assume that this is the introduction. This is not that introduction. Now introduction and any kind of weak introduction also, if you write an introduction which is not research worthy, which is not attracting to the readers, and then that ultimately create a kind of disinterest among the readers also. So introduction is very important. When you write an article, start with the introduction, but that introduction should be very generating interest among the readers. That's why when we write an article, introduction is very important. Now here in the introductions are very good introductions, and see, in the introduction we will discuss the background information, what the article going to present the argument, what is the substance of the article. All this kind of things comes in the introduction. So introduction is a background kind of information the authors are providing in this, and the basic information forms the context for the main points of the paper. When you write an introduction reflects the whole content. Suppose you write 4 or 5 pages, but the introduction 2-3 sentences can reflect what is the content of the whole research article, isn't it? So here the basic information forms the context for the main points of the paper. This introduction in fact reflect, and the authors may use possible questions readers may have as guides for choosing information to present. See, they can see others have to foresee that the readers are the readers are going to take certain kind of question, they are raising certain kind of question, that others have to foresee that these are the things they are going to take, and the introduction should address that kind of things also. And the amount, sometimes the background, when we write introduction or some kind of background information, that can also vary from article to article, isn't it? Because it's not that there is no uniformity in writing an introduction, isn't it? I say this is a very general kind of things, but it depends on the articles. depends on the topic. No, the introduction can also vary. There is no fixed or standardized kind of argument about the background of the paper also. It depends on the sometimes we know that when we send an article to a journal, say there are word limits. Say some journals ask you to write a paper within 5,000 words. So sometimes 7,000 words of the a special article in Economic Political Weekly, which says that the word limit is 7,000. And if you write some international journals, there is a 10,000 words for writing in an article. So based on the length of the article, your background or the introduction, you have to decide the length of the background and other things in the paper also. Now, so what are the points of discussions? Now, please, the two people now listen here. Don't chatting it, otherwise I will take you to sit here. That is the problem. The friends should not sit together. So they create lot of problems. Okay. I don't know. You are laughing or you are watching the laptop. Some movies are you are watching or you are actually because you see here. I don't know. Is it copied to your laptop? Now why you are seeing the laptop then? All are seeing the screen, but you are. I think you are what you are doing. I don't know. Don't disturb. So, okay, the points of discussion. What are the points? What in the introduction we have to do? The points of discussions are the main ideas, as I told you, that are the points about the paper that will be discussed in the introduction, and each point should be developed in a separate paragraph or two. Sometimes some introduction is not merely, see there is a confusion also sometimes. Introduction is not an abstract. Isn't it? When you write a paper, some journals insist on abstract and introduction, isn't it? And introduction is part of that article. Abstract is the summary or the is the precise arguments, precise of that the whole article. So should not confuse with introduction and abstract, isn't it? Suppose you take any Economic Political Weekly. Now there is an abstract. They insist on writing 150 words abstract about 3-4 lines sentence about the abstract. Okay, then followed by introduction. So there is a difference between abstract and introduction, and abstract is not introduction. Many people write the abstract, they write some abstract, this is introduction. No, introduction. Introduction, as I told you, that is the way to your actual the content of the work. Abstract is something. What is the key? Those who are reading the abstract, they can understand what is the content of the article. So, for example, when you submit PhD, the university insists on to submit an abstract. It's along with the whole PhD with the 200 or 200 plus pages also. And many times, suppose your PhD, I am evaluating, university send your PhD to me to evaluate. First I will go through the abstract. Then I get the chapterization, this thing. Then I will go to the whole thesis. Isn't it? Abstract will give me some kind of idea. And before that, the evaluation pattern is that before when university asks the examiner whether, suppose your thesis is coming to me, first they ask, university ask me, the exam department ask me whether you are willing to evaluate the thesis. And the thesis, the PhD thesis, then they send only abstract. And after reading the abstract, maybe 7-8 pages, if I have some interest, then I say okay. Then they will send the whole thesis to evaluate. Isn't it? That means the small abstract with the 8 pages or 10 pages gives me the content of the of the article also. So what I'm saying is that each point should be developed in a separate paragraph, one paragraph or two. Introduction, sometimes people write long introductions also. If you see some edited books, the edited books is a collection of many articles, or in a journal, special issue of a journal. Suppose a journal, is talking about the water management in Northeast India. There are a collection of articles. Then the editor write a long introduction. Our edited book also, you can see that a long introduction about the various articles included in that book or the journal source. So introduction is sometimes is a one or two kind of paragraph depending on the support of the particular point. And again, this introduction is to show the connections between points. See, and suppose you write something, you write one point. Now most of the students write that, see, there is write something, then there is no interconnection with other sentence. When you write something, say there should be a connection with between the sentences and a connection between the paragraph also, isn't it? And or say sometimes there is no connections. You have to write a sentence or connecting sentence, what we call connecting sentence, which is connecting the earlier sentence with other the sentence or the paragraph with other paragraph, isn't it? So here show the connection between 2 points also. That's why we use this this one. Now after writing this introduction, then the content, then we write a conclusion also. Conclusion, there is a well written paper ends with a well written conclusion. Here introduction and conclusion, many people we also sometimes we also very use the shortcuts. When the teacher says that, the supervisor says read a book or article, we read only introduction and conclusion. When you say that, sir, I finished it. This is because that is also true, because in the sense that once you read the introduction and conclusion, you know that what is the content of that article also. So introduction is very important. Then conclusion is also very important. A well written paper ends with a well written conclusion, and conclusion is usually a summary of the key points of the paper. Now once you write, once you have written the introduction, the content, conclusion, whether you are going to send the paper immediately to the publisher or to the journal or to the editor, no. That is, I told you that it is an ongoing process, it's a continuous process. Suppose you finish a paper, a draft paper, complete draft paper, you finish everything. Then what do? You started revising it. Now revision is important. It's not that I finished conclusion, then immediately I send it to a publisher or send it to the editor of a journal. No, we have to revise it. Or seldom is a paper is ready for publication after the first draft. We write a first draft, but it is not ready for publication. The further revision is required. So others may go through several rounds of revision before their works are ready for submission. Isn't it? It's a constant engagement with the work. You have to revise what you have written. Isn't it? And the goal, the others may go through several rounds of revisions before their submission. The goal is to get a close perfection as possible. Close to perfection. It's not perfection. See, 100% perfection is not possible. Isn't it? Even you say that I want, that's why some students PhD, they take longer time to submit PhD. Sir, I want some more and read it, make it the thesis very, and it's a perfect kind of publication. No, perfection, 100% perfection is not possible. Somewhere we have to stop it. That means it's a close to perfection as possible. It's not perfection, but close to perfection is possible within the time available prior to submission deadline. Sometimes some journals or some publisher ask you submit a paper within the deadline. They say, they give you, this is the last date. Then you have to submit it. And the last point is important. See, before revising, Suppose you finalize, you completed one draft, now you have to revise. Now, before revising it, you have to keep this article or the first draft for 4 or 5 days. Why? No, you wrote an article, a first draft is ready, but no, keep it your article somewhere. Don't touch it for another week. And after 1 week, you take back the article, read it again, revise it. Why? Why that break is necessary? That I do also the same thing. Because when you write, constantly writing, or consistently you are writing an article, you get a subjective mind. Some days you feel that my article is good. Because some days, no, whatever we get from the field, we all include it, whether it is needed or not needed, whether it is good for the contest, we all, because this data collection is the result of our hard work. So we don't want to waste our data. Now include maximum thing, maximum quotation, maximum arguments. And by that time, now our subjective mind works then, and it will affect your research, the consistency of the arguments also. So after writing the first draft, even your PhD chapter also, PhD thesis, you are writing a first chapter, now keep it, your chapter, for 1 week. Don't touch it. Okay, after 1 week, you take back the chapter or take back the draft and read it as if this is not your work. Because people have the tendency to find fault with others. We don't find fault with us.
Sir,
Huh?
how to control our critical mind, because
Yes.
it gets doubts every time. Is it like good, perfect? We cannot touch near perfection.
Yeah.
Keeps on changing.
Yeah, that's no. Yeah, we have a critical mind also. Same. That's why the peer review comes also. Now the issue is that this is why I'm telling that keep your article for another one week. Don't touch it. Don't think it the article. And after 1 week, you take back your article and read it. And you read the article as if this is not your article. Suppose you have written an article and you keep aside an article and read the article after 1 week, then you realize that no, these points are not relevant. This sentence is not relevant, and this data is not relevant in this context, isn't it? Otherwise, you continuously working, same thing. You have a subjective mind, and sometimes also when we type something, write something, we write something. For example, Mizora, we write a word Mizora. While writing, M is missing, and we read 4 or 5 times the draft. We can't now find out M is missing or not. But after 1 week, you read this, you can M is missing there. Listen, that's why when we write something, always we have subjective mind, all this kind of things. So that's why it says that before revising, authors should set their work aside for a few days, and doing so allows the authors to approach their work with a fresh perspective. And they may see their works more clearly, noticing problems with the organization and clarity. Even I used to do this kind of exercise, because I write something, I keep it 1 week or 10 days, then again I read it. And sometimes you find that after reading, after keeping this article for 1 week or 10 days, you read it again, you think that whether I have written this article or not, this chapter, this is my article, so I have written very good things. Sometimes, no, this is my art, this is very bad also. That you realize that later, isn't it? That's why we Now, if we, that's why I told you, there's a human nature to find fault with others. So the article which you read, so your article, but now after 7 days you are reading that this article is written by someone, isn't it? So you can find this kind of mistakes easily. That's why when you write a PhD chapter also, write something and keep it some days, then you revise it. So this is the revision part. Before revision, you have to think it about this kind of aspects also. Now, while revising, now what I am saying that is not sent for publication. You completed a draft. Now, in the revision process is going on. After some days, you are revising the articles. Then, while revising, what you have to do? Or revising the article, you have to also check whether the coherence is not there. Coherence has to do with the way information is presented in a paper. So organize the move to readers effortlessly possible to beginning to end. See, coherence, whether the author, whether the reader is getting certain kind of certain kind of continuity from the beginning to the end. So what you are saying, what you have written, whether it has a coherence of it. Some people write something, then they proceed with other kind of arguments. There is no link or there is no coherence. With the sentences, between sentences also, between paragraph also, there is no coherence. Somewhere it is floating or hanging in the air, isn't it? And when you revise an article, revise a chapter, you have to ensure whether there is a coherence also. And sometimes, and you have this all subjective mind, everything, then you can, how perfection, you can give it to your friend or your supervisor or trusty kind of people, they can read it and point out the mistake also. Suppose you are writing a chapter, you are writing an article, you can give it to your friend also, read it, and her article can be read by you. Then the perfection aspect comes also, and she can point out that no, these are the missing points. You have to add, isn't it? That way, it happens. So the coherence you have to, while revising a paper before sending it to publication, you have to you have to also check the coherence of the ideas, sentences, all these things. The paragraph unity. See, when you write a paragraph, there is some kind of unity in the paragraph also. There is some kind of connections between paragraphs also. Or you say one paragraph this thing, other paragraph different thing, there is no connection. There is no cohesion between one paragraph and other paragraph. This is the thing most of the people do. See, there is no, write something, there is no coherence. I'll tell you, Economic Political Weekly, I am one of the reviewers of the Northeast part. So suppose you are sending an article on Northeast, there's a blind review, anonymous referee, it will come to me because I evaluate review articles. Some article I reject it, I write a rejection. Sometimes give an opportunity to the author to revise it, some comments which can be incorporated, revise it, and some resubmit it also. Sometimes rejection take place. And what is happening is that first I will go through the articles, and if there is no cohesion, then we can point out that these are the things you have to do it. Send it to the editor will convey to the author. It's no direct contact between the reviewer and the author. So frequently I am reviewing an article for the EPW also, especially on Northeast issues. I'm evaluating, and many times I can find that people from Northeast, when they write the articles, there's no coherence of the paragraph and no cohesion. That is the main thing. Write something, then next paragraph is something different. So before sending, while revising it, You want to ensure that there is a cohesion or coherent writing, because coherent writing is easier to read because ideas flow seamlessly from one to another. Otherwise, what happens is that no, if there is no coherence, no, the ideas are floating here. You have ideas. Of course, the article contains lot of ideas and new ideas also, but the ideas are floating here and there. And how to make a coherence? That's why I say this is my practical experience. I say students, see whether you read more or write more while preparing any kind of exam. I would say that don't read more, but write more. Many people read. No, at the time of exam, read. Now many our students in JNU also mobile phone, tab everything. Read, then something come there and everything forget. Don't. No, there's a book. No, students. The title of the book is Students Must Read. No, students must write. That's sorry. Students must write. If you read, 5 times, but if you write 1 time, that will grasp. Take a piece of paper, write. And sometimes, if any kind of competitive examination, even the university kind of exam also, time also important. See the time and write. And PhD also, or writing a chapter also, writing a article also, you have to write down everything. Then I don't know, somebody taught you the mind mapping. Anybody taught you mind mapping? And that's a part of this program. Anybody taught you mind mapping? Mind mapping means some ideas. Suppose certain ideas are floating here. You have to make an interrelationship. Suppose there is that in the earlier school level we have this kind of outline stories, f(x) dash this or jump into that kind of things also. So some ideas here. Suppose I write the Mizoram, 1 column. Then I write the Northeast, another column. Okay. Now I write Chin community, or another column Myanmar. Then another column Lookist policy, artist policy. How to connect this? These are different kind of. How to connect it? You can. There's no board. You have to write a link. That mind mapping. That means different ideas here, different terms are here, different concepts are here. How to make a relationship? Okay, Mizoram, Northeast to border Myanmar, Chin community. It's a gateway to North, the Southeast Asia, part of the Actist policy. That way, there's some mind. That's the mind mapping. So when you write something, so you have these ideas. Whatever you read in the in our books and articles, these ideas, write this. How to make a connection? Then that connection, once you draw that kind of things, then you can write a sentence. Then there is some kind of coherence will come, isn't it? So that way, you have to write, you have to draw, and then cohesion can be achieved. Now the organization structure. See, the organizational structure refers to order of presentation, how you are presenting your ideas. And see, even if you have a good theme, good topic, you collected data, and you are writing well also, but if there is no structure, or the good structure, or there is a poor structure, and poor structure equates with the poor writing. You have written a good paragraph. One paragraph is very good, but other paragraph also good. But if there is no cohesion between one paragraph other paragraph, then there is a poor structure, and the poor structure of the paragraph is equate with the poor writing, regardless of the importance of the or relevance of the topic. The topic is very relevant, is very important. You are writing something, and you are writing a paragraph, but which is not properly structured. There is a poor structure. And then that's why I told you that there should be a paragraph unity. Each paragraph should be certain kind should have certain kind of cohesion, and there is a sentence cohesion also, isn't it? Some students write a sentence, then that sentence is not linked with other sentence, something else. There is a gap. Paragraph also just like that. Write one paragraph, then talk about next paragraph. There is no connection between the first paragraph and the second paragraph. And sometimes the ideas you are narrating, it will come to the fifth paragraph and other things also. There is no cohesion. So cohesion is very important. The sentence cohesion and paragraph unity, and sentence cohesion refers to linking one sentence to the next sentence in a paragraph, isn't it? So paragraph, one sentence to other sentence, there is a link. This is very important when you write. So when you revise a paper, you have to take into account of the paragraph unity, and then sentence cohesion, all these things. Otherwise, send it will be rejected, because this is very important. I will give you time to ask questions, everything, so more interactive. Now again, when you revise an article, cohesion is one part, paragraph unity, sentence cohesion is one thing. Secondly, you would also see repetition. Many times, that's why one reason I told you that why we have to keep away the article for another 7 days, and then you read it, you can dictate, you can find out that there is a repetition of sentence. Some people repetition of sentence, same sentence, that you can avoid, because when you consistently working, doing it, you can't advance, because you are in a different mode, all subjective mind. The repetition, sometimes it will not come to your mind. Now once you keep this articles some days, then you can easily identify the repetition also. Repeating, sometimes say repeating keyword from one sentence to next or throughout the paragraph, let the readers see the connections. See, repetition means, suppose we in the social sciences we use certain concepts. That concept can be repeated. There is no doubt. Suppose we in political science we say citizenship or ethnicity, ethnic belongingness. Certain ethnic belongingness is a concept. And that kind of ethnic belonging, because the whole article deals with ethnic belonging, that can continue. There is no harm in repeating that things. But sometimes, some articles, we can find that, see, the same word frequently may be monotonous for the readers also. We write always according to dash, according to dash, according to. If you write every time according to, then how to reframe it? Or the author content that, or the author argues that, author assert that, or the different way you have to frame. Otherwise, every time you write according to the whole, all the 10 pages, you can see that there are 20 times according to. That you should avoid. However, using same word too frequently may be monotonous for the reader. So according to author or according to somebody, you are quoting according to this. But write such a way that the word is not repeated. Okay, see, avoid the monotony. The others used different forms of the word. Monotonous, monotony, and replace noun with its own equivalent pronoun. Now it is now it is easy in the sense that suppose now computer, when you write the word also, you check it whether right click, the synonymous comes. It's easy also. Suppose some people write a very common word, and you want to use very heavy word, then right click it, then the synonyms come, then you can use that word, so that the repetition of the word can be avoided. In other ways, same word you are using. Now, according to this one example, we can say it is a monopoly. So replace noun. See, replace noun with its equivalent noun, equivalent pronoun. See, according to Adam Smith, every time you should not use according to Adam Smith, according to him, pronoun comes, isn't it? So instead of writing out the first sentence, you write according to Adam Smith. Then second sentence also according to Adam Smith. No, instead of that, you use pronoun according to him, or according to another, according to her also, or in the words of Adam Smith. Such kind of things, or that kind of things, you can use pronoun. Be sure, and the incident is clear. So use synonym. Or use synonym. As I told you that now it is very easy. Synonym, antonyms, or they right click, use this is that some word, right click, you get the synonym, so that avoid that kind of repetition of words also. But that does not mean that repeating. I told you that not repeating the concept. Concept remains same, isn't it? So ethnicity as a concept, or ethnic belonging as a concept, remain there. That is the core of your articles. That cannot be replaced with any other things. And if you replace a concept with another concept, then it changes the entire thing. So use a concept consistently in the article or the your chapter, because that is your basic concept, isn't it? See, for example, autonomy movements in Northeast India. We use autonomy. And autonomy, you are working on autonomy, or autonomous district council autonomy, is an issue which you are discussing. If you use autonomy, autonomy is the core concepts in your article, and you use in the place of autonomy, or there is another one. Suppose extremism. Extremist movement or extremism is a concept. Now you use what called insurgency. The article deals with the extremist violence in Northeast India, for example. This is the title. Now you use some other terms, extremism or insurgency. Then the concepts are changing. Now concept is not repeating. Then this gives different meaning, because your title says that the extremism in Northeast India, or studying extremism of some group. But in the content you are using insurgency, then the whole concept changed. So you have to the repetition. That means now sir told that repetition should not be there. So extremism I am using insurgency. No, you can't change the concept which you are studying. But what we can change is that avoid this monotonous kind of others and use pronouns and other things, or use this kind of synonyms or sometimes antonyms also. You can use it. Now, what is the common problem with the cohesion? Now we are talking about paragraph unity, cohesion, all these things. So what are the problems with this cohesion? Why cohesion is not taking place in writing an article. The problems in cohesion may occur as a result of inconsistencies in writing. People write something, but there is no consistency. They write something, then they write some other idea, some other arguments also. So inconsistency in writing leads to the lack of cohesion in the sentence. And these inconsistencies or shape usually involve tense. No, this is very important. Some students, they write something, then ultimately one paragraph or one article, different tense they use. Suppose writing present tense, sometimes next paragraph past tense. Right? Then voice also. Sometimes write passive voice, then next paragraph active voice. Isn't it? So, for example, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi said in 1978. This is a past tense. Then next sentence, people write Prime Minister Indira Gandhi states that. Now this is the issue. So consistently follow one tense and the passive and the voice also, that I will discuss later. See, these inconsistencies are usually involve tense, tone, voice, person, number, style, and viewpoint. And shift may cause readers to miss the key point because connection between the ideas are not clear. Now, if you are changing the voice or passive voice and active voice, or you are changing the tense, then which is not giving a clear idea about the article to the readers also. And see tense. The consistent with the tense, present or past. Isn't it? As I told you that according to this one, then that is who stated these things. Now you write, it is he says these things. That is to be, sometimes when you write, the tense also changes also. And so tense is an issue, consistent with the tense, present or past. Whichever tense you follow, you have to follow consistently. The tone refers to the overall feeling or effects the authors create in their works. Isn't it? See, while writing an article, writing a research, publications, see, there is a feeling involved. The author who are the reader who are reading the article or the work, now the feelings, there is a consistency of the feeling also. Isn't it? No, there is a rhythm, there is a feeling you generate from the introduction to the conclusion. Isn't it? There is some kind of aesthetic sense also, there is some kind of feelings also. Now, if you change the tone, the overall feeling, then that also, sometimes the work after reading the article, there is some kind of seriousness. Sometimes there is a humor, satire, and so on. So shift in one tone may confuse the readers as to intent of the author. Isn't it? So different way, the different tone the author is using, and the reader is getting confused. So don't change the tone, but whichever you are using. Then another one is, as I told you, the voice. Voice refers to whether the subject of the sentence is doing or receiving an action. Sentence may be written either in active. So, example, I ate the pie. Now this is an active voice. Now you can write this thing in a passive voice. The pie was eaten by the children. So this way, and generally others should use active voice. Okay. I have taken lunch now. Simple things. The lunch was taken by me. Then you write the sentence. Then what is that meaning? This is something that some people write in the simple. That's why the editing process, people check all these things. Simple things we can put it in a straight way, but we write very, passive voice. So that should avoid, because this is also affects the cohesion and the consistency also. The tense, tone, voice, and generally others should use the active voice. So you have to convey your ideas to others also. Now, while revising, you have to also know bother about the precision and clarity in language. Language is also very important. Precision in language, clarity in language, and using most precise wording and ensuring the ideas are communicated clearly, result in a more readable work. Sometimes there's a fashion among some scholars that use highly loaded kind of words. Simple sentence we can convey the idea. See, I want to convey the ideas. I am conveying my ideas to you through this lecture. But if you use very heavily loaded words, and you are getting confused. Simple sentence we can convey, but people don't want to convey with a simple sentence. No, ultimately, reading an article, the author wants to convey his ideas to the reader, isn't it? Through an article or any kind of work, the author wants to convey his or her ideas to the reader and make it simple, isn't it? Suppose you write an article, the reader wants to get the idea what the author says. If author is making it very complicated things, then reader is getting confused, isn't it? So write the precision using most precise wording and ensuring ideas are communicated clearly, result in more readable work. And section in the chapter, this chapter concerned, for example, the more common problems this year, some of which are covered in the various styles and grades previously discussed also. So what I said that some these earlier kind of things, earlier I discussed especially the style and other things. Now the precision, see, the language, that's why sometimes people now you see that this is because of the technology, many people use Grammarly, checking the grammar and as well as the language also. Sometimes Grammarly, I also use Grammarly. Our students also use Grammarly. What is the problem with the Grammarly? Grammarly, you write a sentence. Not American English. Sometimes very the ideas sometimes very it's not in a directive way. The flow is not in a directive. Grammarly can clear your mistakes and everything, grammar, everything rectify, and it also shows that suppose you click there in the Grammarly, one sentence, one paragraph, it shows an alternative. You can accept it or reject it also. And before accepting it, they will show this is the alternative way. Suppose you are writing one sentence, one paragraph, then other side it shows that this is the alternative. You can accept it or reject it, isn't it? And before accepting it, you have to also always what Grammarly says is right. It's not right. So you have to verify whether this alternative which Grammarly gives actually conveying my ideas. Otherwise, there's a danger, isn't it? People simply go they're blind to faith in Grammarly. What Grammarly never fail. No, Grammarly has issue, isn't it? And we can also, when some students submit the PhD or any kind of things, chapters also, after reading it also we can see that okay, there is a Grammarly check. Grammar is important, but at the same time the sentence writing is also now the AI motivated kind of editing also coming up. So that kind of things, what happens is that what you intend, the author intent, may not be reflecting in the writing. So that is very, you have to, the language is very important. Now, while revising an article, we use, yesterday I was telling about quotations, we use quotations, isn't it? Many people use quotations, and yesterday, somebody was asking, now how many words we can quote it. That depends on the, journals to journals. And say, sometimes there are direct quotations, sometimes there are indirect quotations. Both we also use that. The direct quotations are the one source of evidence in academic. Others should include quotation for one or two reasons why we are using quotations in an article. We also use quotations in the thesis also, PhD thesis also. Because we use the quotations or quoting from someone that will strengthen or validate our argument. That's why, we quote every day, life also we quote someone. Okay, according to Bible, so according to this thing, that thing, or many things we also quote. And these quotations, in fact, strengthen our argument. But what the authors, the writer or the author should focus on that, give the quotations. See, the including quotation is to give the readers exact wording of the statement that is going to be discussed. See, sometimes we quote something, and we use the exact words and put it in the inverted commas or italics kind of things also we put it, so the exact word you use it. And some people, if there is a long quotation, they started paraphrasing it. The ideas, not exact words, the ideas there, they're paraphrasing it. But paraphrasing it also have to be very careful. And while paraphrasing it, that means the one paragraph you're taking from taking as a quotation, and that one paragraph you can't reproduce in the article. For example, sometimes we can say that there are 300 words or 500 words. If you bring it in the article as a quotation, then it is looking so old, and the journals won't accept it. So what you do is that you paraphrase it, and that means a summary of with your own words and other things, ideas are included. You are paraphrasing it. Then ultimately what happens is that the real meaning of that article changes. So you can, if there is a small quotation, you can use exact words, exact wording of the statement which is going to be discussed. Otherwise what happens is that it leads to by paraphrasing, it ultimately it leads to it creates certain kind of confusion among among the authors also. Now, now in minimizing number of direct quotations, especially long excerpt, author may use to ensure they do not violate the fair use of the doctrine of copyright. And sometimes, see, yesterday I was telling about plagiarism also. See, suppose you use, certain quotations, or use, longer quotations also. The exact words you are taking. You are not paraphrasing. You are using exact words. But sometimes, it leads to the violation of the copyright. Somebody can, many people, many authors, they file case because it's violating. This fellow copied from my articles, he reproduced this. It is a violation of the copyright. Usually it won't happen, but very standard kind of journals, if you use the same words, quotation, even if you give references also, but sometimes can be interpreted as it's a violation of the copyright. Then these are the things, the quotations, how must be entered exactly. They are printed in the source, same words, grading, spelling, punctuation, capitalization, paragraphing, all these things. say punctuations are important. Say where sometimes the issue is that while writing something, the comma or the semicolon, all these things are very important. Suppose now missing one comma gives another meaning. So you want to convey one idea. Suppose by mistake you are not using a comma, the entire the content is also changes. That is very important, isn't it? Sometimes two commas in between. That is also very important. So the correct use of punctuations results in a clarity. Now the last one, I can say that the editing part, what you do while revising, what you do is that there is a process of editing and revision. See, editing and revisions are not synonymous, isn't it? Because you are engaging and you are editing an article, and then there is a process for a revision also. So editing and revisions are not synonymous, although they are look like there is some kind of overlap also. Editing involves the minute of the writing also. Sometimes editing, there's a standard copy editor also. When you send an article to a journal, now after accepting your article, before the production, the final publication of the article, there is a professional copy editor who will edit your article. All these the complex sentences, grammar, everything will be corrected. And if they have some doubt about these things, after copy editing, they will send the draft to you, and you have to check whether while doing the copy editing, whether the ideas or the ideas which you want to convey to the reader are changing or not. And before copy editor should ensure that the ideas are not changing. So even if you send an article to some newspaper also, some standard national dailies also, the copy editor, after copy editing, they send it back to you. Whether you have to ensure that each line, because the copy editor is not may not be very thorough on the idea. Suppose the copy editor is the English literature, may not be knowing economics, may not knowing political science or any other discipline, because it's not, see, the subject, each subject has a different kind of certain concepts, theories, and different rhythm also, right? It's not merely English also. So that's why the copy. So spelling, abbreviations, abbreviation, acronyms, these also very important. So while doing all this kind of things, revision, you have to also aware of these things. Now, the sense I told you that academic scholarly writing is the only effective sentence created to discuss a topic. While revising, author should examine each sentence as an individual entity and as a component of the paragraph in which it appears. Each sentence is an individual entity. At the same time, sentence is within the paragraph, or it's a component of a paragraph. That kind of sentence sense. Say paragraph unity, sentence cohesion, and sentence sense also. That means this sentence is a part of that paragraph, is a component of the paragraph, and effective sentence should make sense individually and contextually. See, we have to write, they got also check into that kind of things also. And now finally we can say that plagiarism, that is, I am not going to discuss more things. See now you can also see before sending before sending an article, before final you are sending an article, you can also check the plagiarism. Now you know that many universities, many institutions are having the plagiarism check. Many software also, there are free software also, the plagiarism check. So you have to also check the plagiarism. That means institutions or their journals also do it. The editor also do it. But before that, before you sending, you have to ensure that how much percentage of plagiarism is there, and if it is high, then you can reduce it and then send it. Isn't it? So then sometimes plagiarism, then you have to also, when doing plagiarism also you have to be very careful about citing the sources. Sometimes the plagiarism comes because small mistake, we are not putting a footnote or putting an endnote, or we are not citing properly. These are just minor things, the overall percentage increases also. And once you put the endnote or footnote or citation or index kind of citations, then that can reduce the plagiarism. And plagiarism may result in destroying one's reputation also. Plagiarism, yesterday I was telling that it is an intellectual theft, it is an academic theft. It will impact one's reputation. So now you know that my institution, university, now see somebody, now because of some other reasons, suppose you want to target a professor now. So what now, the senior professor or something who submitted PhD in the 80s, now the thesis is available e-forms in the UGC, kind of consortium and other things also. You can get it. Suppose you want to target a person, you take his, download his thesis, put it in a software. Put it in a software. Then they say that this fellow, this professor plagiarized his work. And the software says that 30%, 40% or 50% plagiarism. Remember, when the professor submitted the work in the 80s, there is no advanced technology or anything. The fellow submitted PhD, and now we are taking that and we are putting in the plagiarism, the software. Now we say that this fellow is plagiarized, and his reputation has gone. Isn't it? Now, not only that, now suppose you are now going for an interview, you are submitting an article. So I have this much of articles, and after that the selection committee says that you are a good fellow, you are a good researcher, you are getting a job. But after some day, any time, the university or the colleges can review your articles, and they find that there is a plagiarism, then your reputation. You may be a good teacher after appointment, you may be very affectionate teacher to all, but your reputation will be affected. Suppose somebody wants to target me, they will take up my thesis which I submitted earlier now, and they see that the plagiarism. And if you see that, if you put different, that different softwares are there, and same thing you put it in the different software, it shows different percentage. Isn't it? Some show same matter, same article, same the research work, put it in a different software, there are variations also. So plagiarism, so before you send an article, it may be published also, because at the time of sending, they should not take care of that. It may be published, but in future, after 5 years, 10 years, you will be a renowned person, or you will be a vice chancellor of a university. That time people find out mistake, and your reputation has gone. So plagiarism, that's why before sending it, you have to check. But most of the time, we want immediately publish it. We are not taking care of the publisher is not taking care of that. Then it will be published, but later it creates problem. So okay, these are the things you have to keep in mind. You can ask anything if you want to. So we have
Sir, actually yesterday only I wanted to ask regarding the parallel submission of papers. Sometimes it takes
longer time.
So we don't have some the impulsive nature, due to impulsive nature and also impatience sometimes, yeah, and lack of trust also, if they are not giving us any positive signs, like, we may think that better to submit to another.
You have to, but you have to inform them. Write to the editor that I am withdrawing my article. Please inform them. Please write to them.
Even if they don't reply to us.
Even if no, it is your part. You are writing that no, you are that I am withdrawing the article. They may not respond also. Then you send it to others.
The proof should be there.
Yeah.
I have.
Otherwise, the parallel submissions are sometimes if it is suppose this, if it is suppose this this now the article is not published, and after you are sending it to some other journal, that journal published, then the previous journal also published it, then there is an issue. So if a journal is taking a lot of time, you have to write to the editor, write to the journal that no, I am withdrawing my article. Then you send it. Parallel submissions are not allowed. Okay. And some journals take a lot of time, as I know that some journals take a lot of time. Some publishers also take a lot of time. We don't have patience also, not patience in the sense that we want some article getting it published earlier, so we can't wait for that. But better to inform the publisher or the editor that I am withdrawing the article. Then send it to another one. Okay, otherwise parallel publications are not. Okay, any other things? What I am suggesting is that you are young people, you write. No? You write, and those now you are writing your chapters. While writing your chapters, also collecting your data. All data you are not using for the entire data you are not using for your PhD thesis. So take sub themes, then expand it, write an article and send it to publication while doing PhD also. The same thing, the chapter should not be, before awarding a degree, chapter should not be sent for publication. That you have to be very careful. Because when you do final plagiarism, the time of submission, if you publish some article related to this exact words, then it will show that even if it is self-plagiarism, it will show that this much percent. So unless you get a degree, you should not go for that kind of publication. But the certain areas you can develop it. Use the data and then you develop it and publish it. There are many journals, you can publish it. That depends on the quality of your work. And start with, don't go for predatory kind of journals. Start with some institutional journals, university journals. Then, once your quality improves, you can send it to better journals. Okay, keep on writing. That is the only way. Make a habit that I will publish it, an article, minimum 2-3 articles in a year.
One more question, sir. Since you are the editor of EPW.
No, I am not editor, I am a reviewer.
Reviewer, okay, peer reviewer. So, what is the process of retracting a paper? Like retraction, we get retraction of paper. On what basis? How many,
Retraction means?
Yeah. Paper retraction, sir, or something.
Rejection.
Rejection, yeah.
Rejection.
Yeah, rejection is journals because they see all this point they will take into account. Sometimes some topic which is most relevant, then they will publish it. Otherwise, the old topic without new ideas, new data, there is a possibility of getting rejected.
According to your experience, what are the common mistakes that the scholars or the writers, researchers make while you are
Same thing also you can say that introduction there is no I read introduction also I am not getting any point, and there is no citation, no references also, and there is some kind of conceptual theoretical framework that is very important.
Okay, sir, wait. when you are reviewing, though we do know that you are the one who is reviewing, but many times we send and then we do not get any review, we just get rejected. So that time, do you also do that or you don't do that?
No. Economic Political Weekly, it gives the reviewer's comment, pass it to the author. But some journals, it happens to me also. Some journals without any kind of, your article was rejected. That one sentence. What grounds it was rejected,
That
I
is
don't
not
know.
fair, no?
It's not fair also. Recently, one institution rejected my article. After keeping it for 2 years, suddenly got a mail that your article rejected. I asked them, what is the reason? No reason. Right? So that is not fair. So Economic Political Weekly, they give the reason, the reviewers' comment. They pass it to the, there are 2 reviewers and their comments pass it to the author. Then there's a depends on the author, whether this is a revision or rejection, everything clearly written.
Many journals they don't give.
Yeah, just reject it. But I tell you, once you are known, writer or famous, after some time nobody will reject. No, but not nobody, but the rejection will be less. Okay, because they know that you are writing it consistently. I published around around 12 articles in EPW. You can Google it sometimes. So the more than 24 articles rejected. so my Google some of that my name, then you can get it. These things. So and when our article rejected also, we have to be very passionate, very tolerant also. Should not be discarded. No, I am a worthless person. No, I am not fit for this profession. No, I am not fit for publication. Don't do that. You keep on writing and sending it, publishing it. I also felt these things. I submitted many articles, got rejected. Even Economic Political Weekly, 12 of my articles published, and more than 24 articles they are rejected. But I keep on writing, or if EPW is not accepting, so okay, send it to other channel after some time with a lower standard. That way, keep on writing. Okay, keep on writing and don't take a break. Writing is something very important. Keep on writing. You got my name? You are searching something? Most of the articles are Northeast India. Okay, thank you then. If you are going to come JNU, visiting JNU, please come to our Center for Political Studies. I'll be there. And many students are from Northeast are working with me. And we have a lot of Northeast students. Recently, 2 students, Bodo students and Bodo girls, they submitted their PhD on Bodoland in Bodoland women. And now one is working on Chakma issues. Is working on that. And then one is on Manipur working. So Northeast, many people come to me, meet me, students also. So whenever you are in Delhi, just come to and meet me. Any articles you can some articles are free download. You can download it. Okay, thank you so much. And,